building holds just north of 80,000, and they have come out in very good numbers today at FedEx Field in Landover, Maryland. Today, after a crazy opening weekend, it's on to week 2, and we've got a good one here between the Dallas Cowboys and the Washington Redskins. Two clubs here, each looking to rebound from a Week 1 loss as we're underway on EA Sports. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So out comes the Redskins offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. It's a loss of 4 on the first down play.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Here's Goff. This one complete to Christian Kirk. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Throwing on 3rd. Goff. And right side, Henry's got it. And this won't do it. He needed 6. He only got halfway there. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10. Running it with the NFL's Offensive Rookie of the Year a season ago, Saquon Barkley. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, that's going to be 15 yards.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back. Out of the shotgun, Haskins. That's complete right around the 8. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That's good for a gain of 6, 2nd and goal.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. Jerick McKinnon, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Cowboys have taken the early lead. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we've got to turn it all loose.
After the touchdown, Lutz to kick it off. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Gone. He's going to air it out deep for Woods. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Woods, the intended receiver, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
They got a man over the middle. It's Woods. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
6-yard return after a punt of 48. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They have to be thrilled with that first drive. They got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. He takes this for 3 to the 29. Now after the play, oh man, it's Barkley who appears to be shaken up. He's down. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. Got a man. It's Brashad Perriman. That one good for 20 on the catch and run.
That crossing route is so effective when you hit it just right because you get a guy on the move, and then we see the end result there.
Nightmare for the defense. They got a guy with a full head of steam.
Not only does he catch it, but he picks up additional yardage after it.
From midfield now, Haskins. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Credit that sack to Dante Fowler Jr. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
third down. Here's Haskins. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Michael Pierce, in all of his 340-pound glory, gets the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They've had it twice. They punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all. And let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice. So they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
A little too much extracurricular there.
When you have a game with a lot of contact, tensions are going to run pretty high. You're going to be emotional, but you have to harness it somehow, and he didn't on that play.
Out of the gun, Eckler running it, pushing forward for 3 up to the 48. Second quarter now from our nation's capital, and it's the Redskins in possession of the football as they've got it 2nd and 7. 3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Gone. Throw right side is going to be caught by Kirk.
Complete to Christian Kirk. A gain of 4 brings up 3rd and 4.
And the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he's going to be taken down. Goff is sacked. The 305-pound Ndamukong Suh fighting the path to the QB there. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And they will begin with, should we call it, far from ideal starting field position, their own 2-yard line.
So what's your definition of ideal?
The 1-yard line on the other side of the field.
Yes, exactly right. So, yes, your definition is apropos in this case.
Haskins from his own end zone. That's caught by his tight end, Uzomah. And they'll mark him down right around the 9, just shy of the 10. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
2nd down, McKinnon. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
And able to get it across the 20 before they get to him. 11 yards and a Cowboy 1st down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the 1st down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
They go play action with Haskins. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 27 yards there, a first down.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Now Haskins, 3rd and long. Screen play, McKinnon. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his 2nd week of the regular season. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 5. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. Past the 20. 10. And he will bring this one back. It's a pick 6 for the Redskins touchdown. So a dangerous pass over the middle into zone coverage, and it bit him hard.
And what's really difficult when you throw it in that direction and versus that zone, that means the linebackers have gotten to their spot, gotten their heads back around, and they can see the quarterback and everything in front of them. And they took big advantage of it, went the other direction. Excellent blocking, and picked up a touchdown.
Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. So out come the Cowboys now as their offense gets set to take over. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity. Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
A big play there just before halftime. 46 yards.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will do it for this first. We now proceed to the start of the second half. So we've hit halftime. Just a field goal separating these two teams at the break. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Out come the Cowboys now as he'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies, try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that, the nickel look. 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little. And oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. How about the defensive effort from both of these teams that we've seen in this game?
Would you say it's like a high-stakes chess match right now?
Chess is one way to go. Yeah, I like it.
Okay, the only reason I say that, you feel like they're contemplating their moves before actually making one, and none of them being done very confidently.
Truth be told, I've never played chess, and I know that I'm not smart enough to play chess. Guys like you with your IQ, you can pull that off.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw down that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice game there.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it's just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Here's Johnson. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. DJ Moore, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Cowboys will add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. So now we look at the Redskins offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Call it a full 3 yards in the wrong direction there. Brings up second down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. On second down, Eckler. And an alley to run. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Goff. And it's complete. Henry. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. It's a first down following a gain of 3.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short. Blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. From the 44, Goff. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
And he's going to be swallowed up. Sacked back at the 45-yard line. Trey Flowers, the former Arkansas Razorback, in there to get him. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Now a pass here caught by Hunter Henry. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 40.
One of the advantages of zone defenses, I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36.
Now that was well defended, and as a cornerback, what you're taught when you see a wide receiver screen, either you get underneath the play before the blocking forms, or you're going to have to fight your way through it by getting through some blocking. That was a really nice play there.
To the air again. Gone. And this complete to Henry over the middle. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players. Somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
Completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't get...
And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Robert Woods, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Redskins have made this a one-score game. Tavecchio good on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. So that one a 13-play drive in total. And it was polished off by a Redskin touchdown. This one taken from the 7. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. So holding will scratch off some of that return.
And I know fans get frustrated when they see penalties of this sort on kick returns, but it is difficult to do it right against these moving targets at full speed. Hard to do.
Handoff, it's McKinnon. Tackled that time by Sidney Jones. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock. Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The first down carry here for Johnson. He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. Now they'll look to Haskins to throw it. Blitz coming, and down he goes. DJ Swearinger, a sack on the safety blitz.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. From the gun, Haskins on 3rd down. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And that'll be incomplete. Well, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty. And it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock. Really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Now the pass, and it's into the arms of Hopkins. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a first down.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. From the gun, here's Gone. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete.
That's it, baby. That's it.
So it's Redskin football here as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark, really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. There have been quite a few plays they might look back on and say, we really have hurt ourselves, and that was another example.
And this is late game execution. Everything on the line, so it all has to come together properly. The throw's made. Where's the catch? Got to catch in that spot.
He's back to throw. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a first down. Back to throw. He'll get this to Eckler. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. 10 more there and another first down. Now it's gone.
And they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
Personal foul, face mask, defense.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
They'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. He'll look to throw, and he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also third down. Gone.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
And his kick is good. And they will tie this game here in the final seconds. So a money kick there in the final seconds, and now, barring any hijinks on the kickoff here, partner, I think you and I were going to settle in for a little overtime.
And I wouldn't have it any other way. This has been a dogfight all through regulation. No reason to think it won't continue in the extra period.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Haskins. He's going to let this one go deep. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They control their own destiny here. They have the football in overtime. Obviously, a touchdown would win it.
And I think teams around the league are still adjusting to the idea of going downfield, scoring a touchdown wins the game, because they were used to just going downfield and trying to get in field goal range to win a game. Still having to make that transition. Let's face it now, the ones who are doing it best know they need to go down, attack, put the ball in the end zone, and not leave it up to a field goal and give the other team a chance.
Yeah, as we said, they control their own destiny now. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. I don't want to overhype it, but this is a big early season game, especially an overtime win. That could give you a big boost going forward in the season.
It certainly can, and I don't think you're overhyping it, because cliches go out the window when you start to play overtime. And you're right, the winner of this game now, that's an extra boost moving forward, and it actually is an extra hurt for the team that loses, because normally you shake it off, but in this situation, it lingers a little bit longer.
Only a yard on the pickup, so from a good situation on 2nd and 2, it's now 3rd and 1. They'll try to pick up the first with Eppler, and he's going to have the first down at about the 38. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
I know the game's changed. A lot of people would say it's evolved. Look, I'm a little bit Neanderthal, okay? I love this. No exotic formations, no misdirection. Just line up and run the darn ball, pick up the first down. I love it.
Yeah, 3rd and short, that's what you're supposed to do. Like you said, old school smash mouth football. A really nice gain of 25 yards. So from Cowboy territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. A shotgun snap for Gone. Got a man right side. It's Sharp. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. Offensively, back-to-back really nice plays. This defense, they've got 2 timeouts. Maybe should burn one.
Yeah, when you get back-to-back explosive plays, to me, anything over 10 yards, I don't care if it's a run or a pass, I count it as an explosive play. That sets your defense back on its heels. A timeout here would be a good idea and try and get themselves settled because we're in OT. This is big time. Timing is crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it. Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
So a big one coming now for Giorgio Tavecchio. Tavecchio puts this one through. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. They're able to put 3 on the board here on the opening drive of OT, and now up to their defense to try and see if they can hold this one.
I like how you framed it up because obviously this game is not over, right? They go down and kick a field goal, then we head to sudden death. But if the defense can hold.
Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. The field goal would push it to sudden death. We just saw the field goal on the other end, but I don't think they are thinking field goal. At least not to start this drive. They're not thinking field goal.
Not at all, because your point is well taken. Yeah, kick the field goal, you push it to sudden death, but you're also kicking off and giving the other team the ball with a chance to kick a field goal and beat you. Get the touchdown, finish the game off. That has to be the mindset.
Now what can Haskins do here in overtime? Got an open man. That's C.J. Uzomah. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
Haskins will throw. And he's got a man, Calvin Ridley. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. They wanted to avoid the dreaded 4th down and having to get a conversion or it being the final play. They picked it up, though, on 3rd.
I love how you described that because we've been in those situations and seen it. If you get to 4th down, especially in overtime, things get a little shakier, don't they? The hands get shaky, right? The throw, if you're going to throw the ball, being able to run it, all of that coming down to one big play. Very nice of them and nice for them to pick it up on 3rd.
They'll break the huddle, send 3 receivers left, 1 to the right on 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Haskins. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended target was Calvin Ridley, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Cowboys on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. They go play action now. Haskins. And nearly intercepted. Oh, they could have had victory if he had held on. Now it's 4th down.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And his kick is good. A gut-wrenching moment, but he's able to bang it through from long distance. And they match an earlier OT field goal with one of their own. Just a big-time kick there from a big-time kicker.
I like how you use big-time because we usually say that about position players, don't we? Big-time players make big-time plays in big-time games. Well, that goes for kickers as well. And guess what? We're on to sudden death now.
A look at Washington as they come onto the field. The situation is simple. It is sudden death from here on out. We had 2 stops defensively. The next score, whatever it is, wins this game.
I can't wait to see how the defense decides to play this, because knowing that the next point you give up lose the game for you, I expect them to be more aggressive, not just play a normal situational defense, but go after them, attack them a little bit, because otherwise you're always just trying to find their way to get downfield and kick a field goal. Don't sit back and wait for them to make their plays. I think the defense needs to go after them.
Charles Davis says maybe they go aggressive. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Gone. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. And play will be stopped here with 10 seconds remaining in overtime as they've called a timeout. The Redskins on 3rd down. They're right at about the league average, 40%, 4 for 10. Here it's 3rd and 3. Goff now to throw. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Now we're going to get a timeout with 5 seconds left here in overtime. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Again, Gone. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. Goff throwing again. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Well, how about this? The very, very rare tie that we just witnessed. Hard to believe.
You don't see it very often. A bonus period of football, yet both teams go home a little bit unsatisfied.
Well, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and very rarely in the National Football League you tie. But that's what we had here. Each team with a field goal in the extra session, but nobody could separate.
I'm glad you went in that direction, because I thought the